Hello, and in today's video we'll be doing a bounty tier list. And so this tier list includes gadgets and star powers, also this is another game mode tier list. And so yeah, but without any further ado, let's get right into this tier list. And in the F tier at 38 is BB, dropping 3 spots. And BB was also, I'm pretty sure it was currently it was also, in my last game with tier list, she was also the worst brawler in bounty. And she's the worst brawler in bounty because her range is super low. And even if her range was good, I guess, she would probably still be a bad brawler because she doesn't really do that much damage. And unlike a lot of other low range brawlers, she just also doesn't really, even if she does get close to a brawler, it's not super highly likely that she will actually finish them off. Okay, but then in the D tier at 37 we have El Primo dropping 5 spots. And El Primo's basically he doesn't have a lot of range and his super is hard to charge, and because of this he's a really bad brawler for bounty. At 36 we have Frank dropping 6 spots. And Frank, while he does have somewhat decent range, especially for a tank, for bounty he just isn't very good, and only really works with Poco double tank, and he can counter Poco double tank, but besides that he's just horrible in bounty. Okay, but then at 35 we have Shelly dropping 6 spots. And Shelly, honestly, besides being able to counter Poco double tank, she's really bad, she's really bad in bounty and bad overall because she doesn't at medium and far range she puts out really low damage, and because of that she's a really bad bounty brawler. And at 34 we have Bull dropping 3 spots, and Bull just doesn't have that much range, and because his super is hard to charge, it makes him a very unviable choice for bounty. And at 33 we have 8-Bit dropping 18 spots. And 8-Bit, even though he does have a lot of range, because of his slow mobility, he gets countered by a lot of the good long range brawlers for bounty, like Piper and Brock and B and Mr. P. And yeah. Okay, but then at 32 we have Nita dropping 9 spots. And Nita definitely has somewhat decent range, but her bear, there's a lot better choices than Nita for bounty. And then next we have Daryl dropping 4 spots. And Daryl, the only reason is because he's good. The only reason he's actually somewhat good compared to the other tanks is because he has an auto charging super, so he doesn't have to hit enemies to charge his super, well, basically. And anyway, but that means like a lot of time he won't be, basically Daryl is only good because of his auto charging super, because he doesn't have to hit enemies to charge his super. Okay, well, I'm just making this explanation long, but anyway, Daryl is, in bounty he won't really be able to hit that many people unless he has a super. Because of his auto charging super, he can actually be somewhat of a decent choice in bounty. And in the C tier at 30 we have Jessie dropping 11 spots. And Jessie does have some decent range, but she does get some kind of countered by a lot of good brawlers for bounty, like Mr. P. I don't really like. Basically, she would lose in an interaction versus probably every single top 10 brawler for bounty. Yeah. Okay, but then at 29 we have Pam dropping 4 spots, and Pam is really, she does have pretty good range, but Pam is like, there's not really any map where she's like really good in for bounty, so do you really want to play Pam and Bounty? I don't feel like I don't know. I don't really know why Pam is actually this bad in Bounty, but because she has stuff that would make her good in Bounty, but she's just not good in Bounty, I guess. Okay, but then at 28 we have Sandy dropping 4 spots, and Sandy, honestly, Sandy is really good in one map in Bounty, but she's also really horrible in Snake Prairie, and on all the other maps, she's not that valuable of a choice because she doesn't have amazing range. Okay, but then at 27 we have Spike dropping 6 spots, and Spike gets countered by a lot of the good long-range brawlers on this in Bounty, including Brock and Piper, and that just makes them not good a viable choice, and also because tanks are not really that viable of a choice in Bounty either. Okay, but then at 26 is Crow dropping 13 spots, and Crow has kind of decent range, but he doesn't put off a lot of damage, and he gets hard countered by Pipers, which is probably the most. It might as well be the most. Piper might as well be the most played brawler in Bounty. Okay, but then at 25 we have Rico dropping 8 spots, and Rico is while he does have really good range, he gets countered by other good range brawlers in Bounty, including Brock, Piper, Mr. P, and Tick, and other brawlers like that. Okay, but then now we're getting into the B tier, and these brawlers are starting to become pretty good in Bounty, but still not amazing. Okay, but then at 24 we have Colt dropping 6 spots, and Colt does have a lot of. Basically, Colt is very similar to Rico, although I think Colt is better because he has a little bit better 1v1 interactions, and yeah. Okay, but then at 23 we have Ems gaining 5 spots, and Ems is Ems is just a plainly an okay brawler for Bounty. There's nothing really amazing about her or horrible about her for Bounty. Okay, but then at 22 we have Leon staying at the same rank, and Leon is he does have a good amount of range, but his damage is low at his furthest range, and because of that, he's not as good as you might think he is in Bounty. Although with his invisibility, he can be pretty good, a very good assassin, and yeah. Okay, but then at 21 we have Rosa gaining 12 spots, and Rosa when she's in position, she can basically keep that position for like the entire game, and basically and then like make a defensive play if like somebody on the opponent team goes really offensive. Okay, but then at 20 we have Tara gaining 6 spots, and Tara basically she got a buff, and now she's better than Bounty, and because she's with her super, she can get like a team wipe, which is really good for Bounty, and yeah. Okay, but then at 19 we have Max gaining 1 spot, and Max has okay range, okay damage, and okay health, and all that combined makes her an average brawler for Bounty. Okay, but then at 18 we have Carl dropping 2 spots, and Carl has, just like Max, has okay average damage, average range, and average health. I guess a little bit, although it is a little bit more than Max in his stats, so that makes him, I guess, a slightly better brawler than Max for Bounty. Okay, but then at 17 we have Poco dropping 3 spots, and Poco can actually work pretty well for Bounty, surprisingly, even without Poco double tank. And yeah, but in the A tier we have a lot of really good brawlers for Bounty. And at 16 we have Nanny, who's a new brawler, and Nanny is honestly has a whole lot of range and a good and a high possible damage, and yeah. Okay, but then at 15 we have Gale who's also new. And Gale is, he doesn't really shine in Bounty or on any maps, but he doesn't really do bad on any maps either in Bounty. Okay, but then at 14 we have Surge, and Surge with his 4-star power actually has a good amount of range, even without his second stage, and but with that second stage he gets even more range, which is really good for Bounty, and overall it makes him a pretty good Bounty brawler. Okay, but then at 13 we have Dynamite dropping 2 spots, and Dynamite is a really solid brawler on one map, and well, actually probably 2 maps, and yeah, and it's just okay on the rest of the maps in Bounty. Okay, but then at 12 we have Barley, who's staying at the same rank, and Barley is basically the same as Dynamite, although I think he's slightly better because basically slightly better overall. Okay, but then at 11 we have Penny dropping 1 spot, and Penny is, with her turret definitely has a range, and Penny with her turret is just an amazing brawler for Bounty, but without it she's actually not the best, and because of that she's actually not that great of a Bounty brawler. Well, actually like amazing Bounty brawler. Okay, but then at 10 we have Gene dropping 3 spots, and Gene is basically he has a lot of range, and with this pull he can turn the tides of a Bounty game, and yeah. Okay, but then at 9 we have Bo staying at the same rank, and Bo with his new tripwire gadget is an amazing Bounty brawler, plus he has a good amount of range, a good amount of damage, and a good amount of health, and yeah. Okay, but then at 8 we have Jackie getting 26 spots, and basically, and Jackie, once she's in position, she can hold that position for like the entire game, and basically the same as Rosa, but what Rosa doesn't have is what Rosa doesn't have is Jackie's gadget, and with Jackie's gadget she can rush on people and basically get a kill, and yeah. Okay, but then and at 7 we have Mortis gaining 1 spot, and Mortis counters like almost all of the good Bounty brawlers besides Jackie, and yeah, and maybe also Mr. P, but basically every other top 10 Bounty brawler. Okay, but then at 6 we have B staying at the same rank, and B it just definitely has a lot of range, and this is out a lot of damage, but because she gets hard countered by Mr. P, especially when Mr. P has revolving door, and that makes her a good amount of a worse brawler, so yeah. But B is still an amazing Bounty brawler. Okay, but then at 5 we have Tick dropping 1 spot, and Tick definitely has a lot of range, and that's basically all I have to say. And then at 4 we have Mr. P dropping 1 spot, and Mr. P with either star power is an amazing Bounty brawler, because Mr. P is basically, yeah, I forgot what I was gonna say, but anyway. Oh wait, yeah, Mr. P counters like almost every good Bounty brawler. Okay, but then hopping into the S tier, we actually have 3 S tier brawlers, and at 3 we have Sprout staying at the same rank, and Sprout has a lot of range, and it is good in like a lot of 1v1 interactions against like Pipers and other brawlers, I guess. And at number 2 we have Piper dropping 1 spot. Piper was previously the best brawler in Bounty, and is still an amazing brawler for Bounty. And Piper definitely has a ton of range, and with either star power, preferably ambush Piper, and also with her second gadget, Piper's an amazing brawler and an amazing assassin. But the number 1 brawler is Brock, getting 1 spot. Previously the second best brawler for Bounty. Brock has a ton of range, And with this gadget, he can avoid like incoming Jackies or incoming Piper shots to like save himself from getting killed. And yeah, I mean Brock is an amazing bounty brawler, and in my opinion, the best bounty brawler in the game. That's gonna wrap up this video. I hope you did like it. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and bye.